Well guys, have I got something to show you? This is what it's all about. I just can't stop laughing. I've been trying to do this sequence for ages. Anyway, what it's all about is me church. And I had a comment of a person. So, I've had to deal with it. So, I've become St. Alan's. And I'll tell you all about this comment. Apparently, I've had my gravestones facing the wrong way. So, and this comment coming late Thursday night. I think I read it about midnight. I was going through the comments to see if I'd missed anything, and up pops this comment. What the hell's this? And this comment comes in and says, "Did you know your gravestones are facing the wrong way? They're all supposed to face east." So, after going ballistic, my missus pissing herself laughing, went to sleep laughing, I tell you. I googled it, and bugger me, all the gravestone heads are supposed to face east. It's a Christian thing, and apparently it's all religions, or a lot of religions anyway. But I don't want to get into that side of it. So, me being me, had to deal with it. When I can... Like I said, me being me, I've had to deal with it. And I've had to... I've had to do all my gravestones. I had to take them all out and redo them all. Oh, absolute nightmare. It took a couple of hours to do that, to try and get them up without destroying them. And anyway, I've done it now. They're all facing the right way. But when you Google it, it tells you about the church and which way the doors are supposed to face and the main entrance. And oh my God. Well, Metcalf got it all wrong. That was the grief I got this week. My gravestones were facing the wrong way. So there you go. So moving on, come down a bit. Charlie Bishop's had a bit of it's not controversy or grief or whatever. He's had some funny comments because he bought the Pullman train pack. But it's like he said in his comments, he will dispose of half of it, so it hasn't cost him the full amount of. At the end of the day, he's going to get a return on it. Plus, he's got a fabulous logo. Now, what people don't take into account, I've got a blue Pullman, remember? And you've seen it many a times. And the retail price of that was 480 quid, okay? And that's just a bog standard blue Pullman with yellow ends, which people don't really like because they prefer the blue ends. But you can't please everybody, can you? But what Charlie's got is a grey one, the new grey Pullman. Yes, there's two motors in, one either end. Plus he's got sound at either end. And a few goodies that go along with it within the kit. So at the end of the day, he hasn't paid any more than anybody else would setting up a different type of rake. Now take the Hornby HST pack. Just the power car and the dummy car is 260 quid. And then you put a rake of 6 or 8 coaches behind that at £35 each. That Pullman comes cheap. So work it out. So, and the most annoying comments that come to me, which I read, his opening credits, he's got a train coming across his new viaduct and it turns right or left on camera on the points at the end of the viaduct. This one comment said, "Oh, do you fancy doing 85 miles an hour across a 25-mile-an-hour set of points?" End of comment. And I'm thinking, these people don't live in the real world, do they, you know? Good grief. It's model railways, for Christ's sake. You can do what you want. Anyway, that's my little rant over this week because of my graveyard. So now we'll get into the movie, and this week I'll show you doing the graves, moving the graves around, but it's all about the engine shed, the new steam engine shed base. I've created that this week. So there's so many things I could go on about this week, you know. It was as boring as hell until Thursday night. And it all took off. Unbelievable. Well, there you go. Fun at Dragon Junction, as usual. Okay. St. Allen. I was thinking of buying a Halo, you know, and doing too much trouble. Right, this next bit is for Martin Patterson at Thailand, and he wanted to know the height of these post boxes. So measuring that there, it's 3/4 of an inch. I thought it was an inch long, but actually, yeah, 3/4 of an inch. The actual post box. So there you go. And then this kit comes with post boxes on posts, and there's a wall mounted version as well. 4 of each, Martin. And I'll just pan you around. As for the suspension bridge, Martin, it's 4 foot 7 inches long, 55 inches, yeah? And you can make a bridge just like that from them. So out of one pack, you can split it in half like that and make one like that. So if you're stuck for space, you can do it that way. Okay, Martin? Cheers for watching. Right, that's how it is at the moment. And let's see what the outcome is. Let's see if I can jack it up a bit. There we go. And we got to change all that. And I can't remember how many I glued down. Anyway, it's got 2 chances on it. Right, guys, the graveyard's been rebuilt, redone the murder scene and everything, so the gravestones now are facing the right way, to the east. Now if you look it up on Google, that church is wrong, the entrance, because there's no west end entrance. There's only a door on the south side and there's one on the north side, so that church is not quite right. But anyway, now I can do about that. So the graveyard is now realigned and the grave diggers are having a go there, and still got an ongoing murder scene going on. And as you can see, it's a nice little diorama, really. It's enough, you don't want to do too much, you can overdo them, you know. My personal opinion on it, but there you go. I think that's will do. Right, we're going to attempt to put a base in here ready for the engine shed. So I've got this base kit from Scale Model Scenery, and the idea is I'll take these out and then we'll start fitting the base and see how far we get and how we get on. So the first thing you do is we've got to remove the trains. Now these are bits left over from previous kits, so I'm going to put a brand new kit in here, keep them as spares, because I might need them to make things wider, but I have got another kit that can make it wider, so we'll have a look at that when we get there. So when you unwrap the kit, it comes with this instruction leaflet of how to do it, and there's your concrete effect, and you get is it 3? Yeah, you get 3 sheets, which is ample, but if you ever need any more, just go and print some off on your, just scan them and print them. It's, like I said, the instructions are there anyway. It tells you how to do it, and if you're still not sure, if you go on Scale Model Scenery's website, you'll see Justin fitting one of these in a video. I think it's on YouTube as well. Okay, when you take them apart, they break off, and you have these little bits, just basically snaps off like that. Okay, and you just take these little bits off, and what I tend to do is just take any roughness out of the ends where it was joined and where it was been laser cut, so you get a nice flat edge. And these there's 2 strips in there you use to fill out on the sides. Now, as you can see, that's the first base in, and because it's a 3-lane, I've had to go into the second kit. So this part is the second kit, this is the first kit, but that's the whole point of doing it. So now I'm into the second kit. What I need to do, I want to get the right bit. Here we go, because they're in different widths, see. I'll put that in there like that, but I'll cut it. I've got a rail joiner there, but I want to cut these in half so they'll fit in there, there and there and there, just nicely when you cut in half. That will be okay then, and then that extends the hard standing up to there. So all being well, the engine shed should sit on there, but being I can extend it forward with the second kit, I don't have to have the shed right hard up. I can edge it forward a little bit and maybe put some scenic stuff behind. So that's where we're up to at the moment. Now, the second kit I've cut in half to fill that extra void there, because that's the engine shed, and then there's some hard standing. So what I've got to do now, this is a mock-up of what it's going to be. I've got to put paper all over this, but I need to fix the track in position, because and then glue these parts down, and then the final thing is put the paper on and glue that down. So it looks pretty good up to now, and the track's fairly straight. This is a problem. You've got a slight kink in your track, it can throw things out, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good there. But once the paper's on it, and obviously on this side will just be ballasted up with one thing and another. I've got parts that can fill these bits in, but I've no need to, I don't think. I don't want to go too far down. Just spoil it, wouldn't it? But the main focus and feature will be the engine shed itself. And then once the ballast is in, that should highlight other things as well. So, like I said, once these are on, it will look a lot better. Well, that's the plan anyway. So, fix the track. Put the bottom layer in, because remember there's two layers to this. The first layer is like a spacer, yeah? If I take that one out, see that one fits in there snug up to the sleepers, and then you put this one on the top to cover the sleepers. There's a couple of millimetre gap, so it doesn't interfere with the rails. The same with the centre. That's specifically designed, this piece, to sit within the sleeper chairs, so it doesn't interfere with any flanges. But like I said, the hard part is it's pinning the track and making it all snug, and then the top section will just drop into place. Once you put the paper on, job done. Okay. Right, at the moment I've glued these bases in. That's the bottom layer, and then you get these pieces, cut the paper, and they will sit in there like that. So you glue the paper to the board, trim it off, just glue it onto there, trim it round, get it where you want it first before you want to cut it, because you've got the concrete lines. But these here now are the front half. I'm just about to cut the second half, which the paper is not long enough, so you have to cut it twice, so you have to make 2 cuts for each one. So there's four big ones, and then 3 for the tracks. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. So like I was saying, these big bits go in there, but the paper is not long enough for the straight, so you cut twice, 2 strips, and then you have to glue them together then, like that. Okay, and then you go around with a sharp knife and trim it all off the size. That's how we're going to do it. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So you've got to sort of cut 2 strips per length to get it to fit. Okay. So how I'm doing it This is a strip, and I'm using the guillotine, so I sort of get a rough estimate of the width, so you're not wasting a lot. Yeah, stops wastage, and that's about enough, and I get a good straight edge. And it doesn't matter if it's over, that's the whole point. Once it's glued down, then you trim it with a sharp knife. Yeah, and if you want to be completely fluffy, you can actually make out where the concrete line is. So there's two pieces now cut, and I've got a concrete edge. So that'll work out about right there. And with it cutting on a guillotine, you get a straight edge, so you can actually glue it to the edge there like that. Okay, and that piece where the line is, that will be cut off. That's right on the edge, so that'll be trimmed off. So, and it's a lot easier doing it that way, I find it anyway, and you get no wastage. That's less wastage. Like I say, get a full A4 sheet of the paper, trim the sides off, and I've done one there, so I use this as a template down the side to get the sort of near miss width I need, like that. So you're not wasting the paper, you know. There is a little bit of overhang, and you get a straight edge, and that straight edge relates to that. So once you've got it glued in there on the straight edge, and then you've only got to trim one side. See, just overhangs a little bit, so you've only got to, once it's dry, just trim it down, and there you get a perfect finish. And I've used four and a half pieces of paper. I've got two kits. You get three papers in a kit, so I've got two kits, so that's 6. So I've used 4.5. Well, I got one on this one. So by using the guillotine, I haven't wasted, and this will come in handy for the future projects. You never know, do you? Now, the way I do it is I put half of this on, put some of this on here, and then spread it about, because I want even amount of glue on the paper. If you have too much, you end up with bubbles. So you put enough to put one on. What I'm looking for, it doesn't matter if it goes over the edge. What I'm trying to do is try and get it on pretty well straight, because this stuff sticks quick. Okay. Now if you look at the other side, see the amount of bits I've got to trim off. But you've got to remember this stuff, it's what's it called? Card glue. It's very, very quick. So you don't get a second chance sort of thing. Just make sure all the edges have got glue on, and right up to your joint, like that. And then the second part, and I've got the concrete line there, just make sure the line is up to par. And there you go. That's stuck. Now you've got to let that dry. Just make sure there's no bubbles in it, because you don't want bubbles. But I've got all that to trim off. And that's the finished effect. Okay, now once this is dry, it's easy when it's dry, the paper will cut, they'll trim down, and they'll go straight into place. Just try not to over glue it in a way, because if you over glue it, you tend to get bubbles. But basically that's that, and you just repeat with the rest of it, whether it's the center section or the middle sections. So that's the way I do it. Okay, back in a minute. Now at this point I've changed gloves because I was getting too much glue on the gloves for obvious reasons, but it's cheaper to change them than wreck all your work you've done. So I just found that it was easier to change the gloves, and then you're less likely to make a mess. I mean, it's that quick. You don't have to worry about it. This will be drying. Well, you won't get the paper off, but to fully dry up, 10 minutes, and using the guillotine, at least you get a straight edge when you come to join up in the legs in the middle here, and then just readjust. And away you go. It's that easy. Once you're happy with it, smooth it out. And all you got to do is cut the edges off once she's dried up, and it can dry in there. So I've only got this piece to do, and then the main part is done. Okay, right, that's that done. Just waiting for them to dry, and once they're dry I can trim them all off and put them into place, and that then is the deck done, basically. I know it looks all a bit funny at the moment, but that's how it is. But you don't need to use a lot of this. You don't need a lot. I know a lot of people use Yoo-hoo glue, but again, it's doing it a similar way in the end. You've got to put the glue down and then lay the paper on the top. So card glue's just the same, quick and easy, and it doesn't take long to dry, but you don't get a second chance. 20 seconds and you'd be cutting a new piece of paper. So anyway, that's that, John. I'll come back to you when it's dried, and then I'll do a trim. Just bear with me, guys. Just got to change the points. And here we go. So the hard standing base is now in. I've just got to build the shed. I'm just testing the tracks to make sure there's no fouling. Oh, I've got a dirty piece of track there. Try again. There was PVA glue on the track. Still a bit there. Took a bit of cleaning. I didn't realise there was that much PVA on the track. I think I got it now. Yeah. Maybe not. There we go. Job done. Next one we'll try the Black 5. Put that in front of the Merchant Navy class. Stop it here, change the points. In reverse, there we go. See that by putting the extra length on there, on the hard standing, I can get, well, 6 engines on there really, can't I? So the last one to go in will be Britannia. Put you down to the points. And reverse, and there we go. Switching on there. Oh, wrong point. Thought it was on the other point. There you go. Well, we know that negotiates that. There we go. Got the right one. That's the thing about three-way points, isn't it? There we go. Just about fits. Okay. Well, basically that's it. I have got other things dotted about. The small ones can still fit in these sections here as well as down there, because I got the J83 and the small Prairie over there, which I've got counted flint out, which will fit in there, and the Ginty. But I don't have to have these diesels here, they can be taken off, that's no problem. And that passes that okay, doesn't interfere, so that's okay. And at least the three-way points work, so far so good. So basically you've got to build the engine shed now and then go about landscaping it. It's going to be a busy steam shed area, and the good thing is I got all this area here to play with. I can at least do something with that, and it's still got access to the main road via the garage sort of thing, so I can build a track down there and maybe create something along there. I mean, I did at one point I did think of putting a point in here and coming down to here to make a small head shunt or goods yard, small good yard, but I don't think I will. This can be taken up by other stuff. I need to put a water tank in here somewhere. I think you're better off here somewhere, water tank. I'll put some additional, put a water tank here and a couple additional feeds, maybe here and here. Yeah. Anyway, that's for the future. Right, I've found me water fillers. Dug them out of a box. There's a bit of a close-up of the ad standing, and I found the water tower, which once the engine shed's in, it'll be down the side of that, so it'll sort of fall into place sort of thing. But if I move it along a bit, and there's the ad standing. And then ballast all up the front here. It's not too bad, that, is it? So the next thing is to build the engine shed, so that'll be next week now. Okay, that's the sort of finish you get anyway. And this here will be covered with the shed anyway, so the shed will be up to here, all that will be covered. You must forgive my neighbour, we love our power tools in North Wales. He's doing his hedge. Right, I think from now on, every time I do a film, I'm going to do a little feature of my flashing girl. And this week, week 1, she's on the bridge. Looks great, doesn't it? And she's flashing to the guys on the station. There you go. Well, how long you been?